Welcome to the Kendy and Raybo podcast, episode 92, recorded in Kendy's box room.
How long has it been, first of all?
Since my last confession.
How long has it been since your last drink? Actually, really, since our last drink on this is what I mean.
Probably we were drinking on this last night.
What?
Yeah.
On the podcast?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Willis?
With Mary.
What?
Mary and Francis.
Excuse me?
We were drinking last night and we recorded.
What?
Yeah, out the back.
Am I out of it?
What do you mean out of it?
How are you talking about?
What?
None of my words there made any sense, which is perfect for this situation.
There's no situation. You asked a simple question.
I asked you, says I to you,
Yeah.
says I, when is the last time we had a drink on the podcast? And
I
you
said last night.
with Francis and Mary.
Francis and Mary, we were doing a bit of a podcast.
Was I drugged?
For the charity thing.
What's he talking about?
You were the one that set it up.
What happened to me?
What?
What happened to me?
How do you mean what happened to you?
How did I end up with a head like this?
Are you not? Are you actually sitting there telling me you don't remember this?
Did I get roofied? Where? I thought I was gaping. Oh Jesus! I can't say that. Fuck. Jesus. Oh, the fucking what? Ray, what are you on about?
I'm surprised you don't remember any of this.
Ray, please.
I'm not doing this very well, in fairness. I say, you know, Tyke Fleming.
Yeah.
You know, he's a man from Kerry.
Yeah.
He rang his old lady there a couple of weeks back, or maybe a couple of days back.
Oh yeah.
And he talked absolute nonsense to her.
Yeah, that's right.
And I came in here today, all guns blazing, to talk nonsense.
Do you know what the difference is, though?
What?
She sussed it after about maybe 15 seconds.
And you thought you got roofied.
You fucking hell, Ray! Jesus Christ!
You thought something terrible had happened to you.
Like but didn't I show you how easy it could happen to you, though?
That's how. Like, had you no confidence in your behaviour at
No,
all?
I had no confidence in you.
Me?
I was thinking, if I don't remember this, Ray definitely roofied me. Like,
Where were you last night? You can't tell me that.
I don't even know where it was last night. I'm fucking getting interrogated now all of a sudden.
You're not getting interrogated.
Why am I getting interrogated? You're the one that roofied me.
Let's get back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Right. It's been a while since we had a drink on the podcast.
Fucking yes, it has.
And I brought 2 craft Heinekens.
Oh, the craftiest of the hindies.
There we are now.
Will we get into it?
Yes, have you stuff?
Let's shag and get into it, Ray, for the crack.
Right.
First of all, I am now as qualified as you were. I got to FETAC level 5.
You completed your comedy training.
I did. I completed the comedies training. On Monday night, I got to FETAC level 5 at a small ceremony.
I think everybody at home can even hear that in your voice. I'd say from all the laughs they've had in the last few minutes.
Oh, the last 4 or 5 minutes or whatever the hell we've been recording for. They've been going, Kendy's done a comedy course. He has a cert or something. I finished it, Ray, and was good crack. And now I have to do my first comedy gig Friday night.
What?
On Zoom.
Oh, you're actually doing a gig?
We're doing a Christmas party on Zoom.
Jeez, they got a cheap show, didn't they?
Big John's Cleary. They fucking did. I'm not getting paid.
Right.
This is the start of it now.
Yeah.
Not getting paid. John Cleary's doing a Christmas party night, and he said, sure, come on and you all do 5 minutes.
Okay.
The problem with me doing 5 minutes, right?
Is you're robbing my material.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. First of all, the problem with Kendy doing 5 minutes is that we're supposed to do 5 minutes on Monday, and I got off the stage, and I said, was that enough? He said, you talk 16 minutes, Kendy.
You did.
I was like, what the fuck happened?
That's the hardest part.
I get ran away with it.
You do.
And guaranteed, if you did a little compilation of that 16 minutes, you might get 15 seconds of comedy.
Well, I have a confession to make.
Did Tierney show you?
Yeah.
The ignorant bastard. What an ignorant bastard Tierney is that. He's not our sensei anymore.
I texted Tierney the day after. So Kendy was doing his show in the Hawkswell to nobody on on Monday night. Yeah. And on Tuesday then, I was aware that you had robbed some of my stuff.
Yeah.
And I was vexed.
Were you tick?
Well, it was.
Well,
that is my intellectual property.
Do you know what? It actually is, which is why I texted him and said, by the way, I did your bit.
Yeah.
And said to them as well, that's a friend's bit,
That's
by the
okay.
way.
Well,
Yeah.
you did it well, like, in fairness to you.
No, because, I mean, you're saying Robin and I'm being pretty nice to you. I expanded on your bit.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I took what you were trying to say.
Let's not get into this now because I can get sharp. I can get honest. I did text Brendan. I said, Brendan, can I see the video?
Yeah.
And Brendan, I thought I'd have to bribe him. I thought I'd have to give him money. Oh no, straight on.
Yeah, the prick. I said to him, Brendan, I don't even want to watch that. Don't be showing that to anyone. He said, Kendy, I hear you. Say no more.
No one will
Ray,
see it.
how things, Ray? How you going? Come here, video for you here.
Yeah.
So the bit that I did belonging to you, which isn't a bit, it was a thought, like a brilliant thought.
It's a sketch that myself and Laura want to do.
Yeah.
Want to do.
Well, then you definitely should, because I think it's genius.
And it's something we mentioned before. It was the whole idea that when I'm in conversation, I have three fellas in my head, and they're there's kind of three different. I think you kind of articulated it fairly well.
Okay.
There's three different versions of me.
Yeah.
There's you called it the truth. So the person who says, "Oh, just tell her the truth."
Yeah.
Just be honest with her.
The best part of your bit, though, is, and you said it to me on Saturday, is that they're in a control room up there.
That's the idea.
They're in like an office.
Yeah.
And they're just tipping along, and then the alarm goes off. He's after fucking saying something stupid, lads.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
And then the three boys there.
Three boys have to try and figure. So that you said it was the truth, the liar,
Yeah.
and then the book that says just his always answer is pretend to be asleep.
Yeah. I like him the most. So your man who says, just tell her the truth, Ray, for God's sake. And then the other fella says, you have to lie.
You have to lie. You're not getting out of this unless
and
you
then
lie.
the third fella says, just pretend to be asleep,
Yeah.
please. But he doesn't get away with that long. Anyway, that was the bit.
That was the bit. You took that.
That was the bit that Ray is on about. And here's the thing, Ray. It was a comedy writing course. So, I mean,
You stole my writing.
now with my expertise in comedy writing, I could help you write that sketch.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll pick the cast.
Don't worry. I'm VTech level 5 too, you know.
Well, look, yours is like the older version of it. You did it like 2 years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, so.
I don't think that one still stands.
So you telling me now that I'm not qualified anymore?
I actually saw your cert in the house one time. That's only level 4. That's
Right.
VTech level 4 in comedy writing sketches.
Right.
Anyway.
We're going to take a small little bit of a side, what you call here now? What do you call the side things we do?
A segue.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned something on Saturday night at the small gathering
Yeah.
about you taking all your kit off.
Did I? Oh, yeah, fuck.
And I asked you that I said this is a good story.
Yeah.
Can you please tell the people this story now?
So I can't believe I haven't told this story before. And I'm nearly certain I definitely have.
I don't remember.
Okay, so here's what happened, right?
Yeah.
I told this story to people, and Ray said, why have you never said that one before?
Yeah.
And I said, it did, Ray. He said, I know everything you've ever said. The story goes, when I was a young lad,
How
and I
young?
mean, like, I think I might have been 19, right? I went on holidays with a lot of friends of mine.
Right.
So it was me and my friend Kieran, and then there was Rachel and Sarah, and we went over to visit friends who were over in Spain,
went to
working
Spain?
abroad. So we said, let's go to Spain. We're 19. Yup. Obviously, I'm with Nicola at the time.
Okay.
You know, so there's no yup.
Is that how you frame it?
Well, there was a yup because we were going on holidays, but we couldn't go yup.
So 3 ups is your standard crack as a person
As
who's
friends.
in a relationship.
Yeah.
And has friends with them.
Yeah.
And then what did you say? If you weren't in the relationship, what is it? What are we talking about?
Yup. That's
That's single Kendy.
yeah, that's
out in the
single
lounge.
Kendy. I don't know what that yup Kendy is like, but
Right.
he must be good crack. Fuck it, I was acting like I was on that one. What happened was, sorry, Greg, go on. What were we going
I'm
to say?
just asking. You hate holidays.
Yeah, no, but
You
I
don't
was
like
not-
going anywhere.
I know, but I was 19 at the time, and I was fresher.
Okay.
Like, I hate getting up to go to the toilet now because I know that it's going to make me go, oh, you fucking prick. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So that's a very different Kendy that you're talking about. That's 10 years ago, like.
okay.
So what happened was we went there first night. We're all going, this is tremendous, like young lads. And we started going around to all the different nightclubs that were on the strip.
As you do.
Strip is the right word for it. Because what happened was I found a Romanian selling roses.
As you
Not
do.
too unlike you'd see anywhere here. They
Yeah.
do the same thing. I said, I'm going to buy a rose, yeah? We ended up going into this Russian nightclub called CCCP.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nightclub / strip club.
Oh,
There was a fine stripper, fine blonde woman, peroxided out of it.
you still had the rose at this point.
I still had the rose with me. I bought the rose, yeah.
May I ask what possessed you to buy the rose? What did you think you needed a rose for?
I thought, I'm out of it. Like, why do you think that they hang around outside pubs and nightclubs selling roses? Because people are out of it.
They're out of it, but they're out of it and they have Biors beside them and they want to buy them a rose.
Yeah, I know.
You had no Bior.
Well, I wanted to
With
give
ya?
Kira the rose.
What?
Yeah, but it's like divine intervention. Something in my head said, you're going to want this rose, man,
Okay.
when you're in this nightclub. So I was in the nightclub holding the rose, and they said, you know, you're dancing away like to, I don't know what was around at that time, whatever.
Venga
And
Boys.
Venga Boys is
Venga
probably
Boys
on.
is coming.
Me and Kieran are going, this is unbelievable crack. And, you know, And next thing they say, welcome on, fucking Carla Sutra.
Carla Sutra.
Carla,
Great name.
Carla Sutra. What's
Well,
it name?
that's the episode now sorted. Why is it always a sex name that we have in the episodes?
What can you do about it? So Carla Sutra is up dancing in her peroxided blonde head, right?
Any sign of Breda Montez, no?
Breda Montez, man, I thought she was going to get back to us straight away when she found out that we named an episode after her. She hadn't been on to us at all.
Right.
She must be flat out on the farm. I end up in the nightclub. Carla Sutra is on, and my friend Kieran says, give Carla Sutra the fucking rose.
And her wanting cash, but of course you saunter up with a little old shite rose. But go on.
I thought she'd appreciate it. It turned out she did appreciate it. So I went up and I said, how you, lovey? There's a wee rose for you, lovey.
Yeah.
She said, thanks a million. And then she drags me up onto the platform.
Okay. That never happens to anyone. What was different about you? Normally 2 security guards come and take you away.
I don't know what was different about me.
Okay. So Carla Sutra must have had an eye on you.
She probably saw the head in me, I'd say.
Yeah, 19-year-old fresh Kendy.
Yeah, she said, look at the head, that young fellow, jeez, I'll devour him.
Right.
And so she got up, she strips balls naked, right? Kendy starts motorboating and the whole feckin' lot.
Really?
I didn't mean to, Ray. She was dragging me head into awful places.
Right.
Then she says, I'm going to strip Kendy now. Without telling Kendy.
How many people are in the place?
Like, it's hard to judge when you're out of it 10 years ago, but the nightclub was packed.
Right.
Like, I could say to you, there was 10,000. I'd say there was 10,000 people in there.
Okay.
So there's 10,000 people in the nightclub. She starts stripping Kendy. And I'm going, this is great fun that she's having here now, but she's obviously not going to go the whole way.
Yes.
So she's taking off my top, she fires it away into the crowd.
And were the crowd enjoying this?
Oh, the crowd were loving it, right?
Right.
She starts firing the top into the crowd, takes off the pants, fires it into the crowd.
Did anyone video this?
My friend Rachel was videoing it at the time, obviously.
Marvellous.
Going, look at this Kendy getting up with a stripper in this awful good crack.
On a 3210.
Yeah, probably had it. What was around in 2009? The very first Samsung smartphone, let's say. It was around then. So she's videoing away, enjoying herself. And then I'm down to my jocks, and I'm like, okay, well, obviously this is good crack now. She's not going to take out the young fella.
No, because the room would go dark.
You fucking...
The room would go dark.
Oh,
They wouldn't even see the emergency lighting.
Yeah, the sprinklers would go off and everything, man, if I took that joke out. Sprinklers, right? Anyway, she then does pull down my jocks and takes them off and fires them into the crowd.
And you're sound with this.
2 things happen at this moment. I panic, and Rachel, who's filming it, panics. I saw Rachel with the camera on, obviously going, this is great crack, Kendy with a stripper.
Yeah.
The second she took out the big fella,
Yeah.
she just put the camera down. And I can still, even though it was 10 years ago and I was out of it, I can still remember her face.
Just a shock.
Just going, oh no, this has turned sinister now. I'm up on stage going, what am I supposed to do? Because obviously, the young fella, he's not ready to act. He's not saluting like.
Was he in the acorn foot pose? You know, like when you come out of the water after a swim.
Yeah. Not even that. Like, I'm not saying that he was tiny and frizzled up. I'm just saying he wasn't obviously saluting. He wasn't saying how are things, lovey.
Yeah, I suppose, but okay.
So I didn't know what to do. So all I could think to do was I just started wiggling it around. I just started throwing it around the place for about 15 seconds.
Helicoptering.
Yeah, helicoptering, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Catching it, the double back, catching it between my legs, letting it out again. There's another great move called the baby elephant where you just don't know how to control it. It just starts going everywhere and anywhere. I started doing that one. And then I think she realised, okay, this fella, I've kind of had as much crack as I can have with this fella. So she led me off the stage.
Yeah.
And I was going, where the fuck are my clothes?
So you're in the nip, in the middle of a nightclub with 10,000 people there looking at you.
Yeah, and what happens then is her dance is done. Carla Sutra is done then. She tips out the back for a fag, right?
Yeah.
And it's back to nightclub mode in the nightclub. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
They only bring the stripper on every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I have to go around to all these crowds of people that are dancing going, how are you enjoying the night? Come here, that's my t-shirt you have in your hand, lovey. Could I have that? Please. I had to go and suss me on like I was in a bad thrift shop. I had to go and find an outfit, man. This is my first night in Spade. And I did the most important thing I've ever done in my life once that was done. I told Nicola straight away.
Did you go outside and ring her?
Yeah, I told her like the next day because that can't... Listen, that's a fucking bad story to be telling your missus.
Not a lot
It's
of
a
misses
worse
take
story.
it.
I know it's a worse story for your missus to be finding out.
Oh,
you
definitely.
didn't tell her.
Yeah.
So that's when you have to go, I'm just fucking letting you know. I got trampled down by strippers and everything last night. It's done. Forget about it. And you know about it now and I can't get caught fretting.
Right.
Because the one thing Mrs. has hated is a fucking liar, Ray.
And come here. See, I know the value of video these days, right? if me and you were out of a night now and I caught you doing anything, you know,
Yeah.
we'd secure that video fairly quickly.
Yeah.
What happened with Rachel in the video?
Well, I don't know, like.
But would it not have been something that... Is it still circulating around WhatsApp groups in Castlereagh?
She was from Leash.
Right.
So
it's lost to leash.
Yeah, the leash is off. I think, I mean, we could find it maybe, but who wants to see?
I think we'd have at least a couple of hundred people that listen to this podcast that'd only love to see you getting humiliated in a club in Spain. And
let's see if we can get Rachel's video. I doubt it highly. It'll be on a phone of hers 10 years old. Like.
Yeah, because I think that's definitely something. But I'd say that's something she'd keep.
I doubt it, Ray.
Do you not think so? Like, that's magical stuff. That's stuff that'll come out at your 21st. It'll come out at your 30th.
I don't think we ever spoke of it again. I think me and her never looked at each other proper again.
But I think that's what's after happening. I don't know how often you've told this story, but when I heard this on Saturday night, I went, oh my God, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
A bit like the time you interviewed Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, that's another bit that we have to get our heads on too.
Yeah.
The interview I did with Chris O'Dowd, so I did that when I was about 21, and he was like right in it at that then because he was in that film Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
I interviewed him for like a Castlereagh magazine thing.
Yeah.
Right, in the school. It was the worst interview. It got so bad in that interview that he turned to me and said, I asked him a question. I asked him a question that was so complicated that he turned to me in the middle, I'll never forget it, and he said, look, I'm just a bit tired now, man. I don't really know what you're on about. Isn't that terrible?
But it's really nice though too.
He could, but what was he going to say? What? You young Egypt man, I haven't a clue what you're saying.
You wouldn't want to get your man Donald Gleeson. Have you seen him in interviews?
No.
Laura's flat out looking at Donald Gleeson interviews.
Why?
Because I think she's a thing for gingers.
All right.
Do you know?
So
understandable.
she go for the grade A one.
Yeah, but she seems to think that this fella's a nice sort of fella, you know. But he's very mean and he's good crack, like.
Right.
But he can also be very cutting.
Okay.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have given you that sort of a...
Definitely not. He would have tore me.
He tore you to shreds.
He would have ate
What
me
are you
without
doing
sauce.
here?
Yeah.
You know, how did you get a job at the local magazine?
I've seen interviews like that with people when they're on that shitty film
yeah.
trail.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm actually not talking to you anymore.
Yeah. Like, it's very awkward.
Imagine if Chris O'Diddly Dowda did that to me. Jesus.
You wouldn't be the man you are today. He's probably... You could credit him with you being the confident gentleman that you are today.
Yeah, because I got away with one.
You did.
I was dog shit, man.
You did.
Do you know I did that interview upstairs when I was working in Super Value?
In Super Value?
Yeah.
So you brought Chris O'Dowd to Super Value?
No, he was in LA, man.
Oh, right. This was on a phone.
He was in LA. Kendy was filling up the milk and all that kind of stuff at Super Value. I get the text to say, Chris is ready now, lovey. Take your call. So I just left the milk, spilt milk. I didn't even cry about it. I went upstairs and I did the interview. I hadn't a clue what was going on.
Did you record it or were you writing it down or what?
Yeah, I recorded his phone call, we'll say. And then, yeah.
Tape a call pro.
It's somewhere there, like, and it's the worst thing you'll ever hear.
Jesus.
We'll find it somewhere along the way.
So that's the lost Kendy files.
Yeah, the last. I have them, locked away.
Yeah.
For good.
Yeah. There's a video of me floating around.
Of? What is it? Come on.
No, well, I went... I've probably told this story before.
Okay. We'll see.
We cut it out if I have. The worst hangover I ever had was I went on holidays to New York back in 2007.
Okay, that's a lot. Okay,
That's a long
time
time my
ago.
cousin Sinead went over because my sister Marie was living over there
Right.
for the summer, and we went over on holidays. And I'd have relations in Canada, right?
Okay.
I'd have relations in Toronto.
Yeah. So Ray went to New York, and like that's like someone coming over and saying like, "Oh yeah, I have relations in Mayo." Yeah, but I live in London. Like nothing to do with.
This is
country.
what happened to me though. I was looking at New York on the map, and I was looking at Toronto on the map, and I suppose I was looking at them like Dublin and Sligo.
Yeah,
so thinking I'm going on holidays to Dublin, but sure I could pop over to Sligo handy enough.
To a different country.
But sure, Northern Ireland. I could go Belfast. That's a different country. Just because you put a line between them doesn't mean it.
But I mean it's a bit. How long? How long?
I was in New York for the week, so it was one of them fly out on the Monday jobs, and fly back on the Saturday.
Okay.
To Ireland, but on the Friday I thought I'll tip up to Toronto and surprise the grandants.
The grandants,
right? And the cousins, the far out cousins.
Okay.
I said this would be tremendous fun, so I let the far out cousins know that I was coming, and don't tell the grandants.
Don't tell the grandants, but we know.
So at 7 a.m. on the Friday morning. Now bear in mind that for the previous Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I was ridiculously jet lagged.
Okay.
Within an inch of my life, I'd never experienced anything like it.
You didn't settle at all, like.
Oh God, no! I couldn't figure it out. I was all over the shop. So I was only just getting back to myself on the Friday morning when I took the flight to Toronto.
It's only a fucking 5-hour flight.
To what? Oh, but
to New York.
Yeah, but I'd never been out that well. I had, but it just hit me hard.
Okay, Okay, sorry, Ray. I know I'm challenging you at every quarter here.
That's
Keep
fair
going.
enough. That's
Come on.
understandable. Got to Toronto anyway, and surprised the cousins had organised a big party.
Oh yeah.
And we surprised the Grenats.
Right.
And they were delighted. Oh my God, Ray's here.
And did you have met them before?
I had met them before the previous year when we had the biggest family holiday we ever had. Where Michael McAndrew brought us all to Canada for 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what, he has some pound.
Well, he had to have, because he was the whole previous 25 years saving from bringing us to places like Barron and Galway and Tullamore and Claremorris. Do you know, all we did was Irish holidays, the odd time we go to Jersey. But this was the big pièce. He said, I'll bring you on one day's holiday before you all tip away off as adult children.
So this was the one.
This was the one. But anyway, the year after, anyway, so this is how I knew them, because I had been there.
Yeah.
We had a tremendous day. I drank loads of bottles.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Then at around 10 o'clock, because it's from 1 till 10, I was drinking.
Jesus.
Now I says to my cousin Mike, I said, Mike, very important, you have to make sure I get to the airport tomorrow morning, because I have to fly back to New York.
Yeah.
To fly back to Mayo.
You were flying 2 flights, 1 day job?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Saturday morning I was going to fly. What was I thinking?
Jesus Christ.
The Saturday morning I was going to fly from Toronto to New York.
Okay.
So, and I forgot to tell you that I almost didn't get into Canada, because when I went from New York to Canada, I got stopped 4 times by Border Patrol security police in the airport.
Because they're heading you?
No, because all I was wearing was my jeans and my t-shirt.
Oh, you had no bag or
I
that?
had no bag. I just my passport, my card, bit of cash, and that's it.
Right, so they were saying, what the f*** is this fella?
Oh, that's it. Like I was only coming to Canada for 1 day.
What the fuck? It is so suspicious.
So I'm an Irish man, coming to Canada for a day. I fly in Friday morning, I fly back out Saturday morning, and I have no luggage.
Yeah, Ray's chipping through TCA with his hands in his pockets.
Yeah.
How are you, lads? Just got up for the day, you know.
I look like a man that was going out to the N17 in Kilchma. That's what I would bring to the N17 in Kilchma.
Ray didn't even bring a jacket or that. Like.
I didn't need one because it was too warm. It was the middle of July.
Fucking hell.
Why would you need a jacket? You wouldn't be taking it off.
Oh, man, that's all funny.
So, anyway, so I was sitting there all day, had a lovely day, drank the face myself. Told my cousin Mike, right, make sure I get in the taxi in the morning for the flight back, because I have to get a flight that evening, then back to thing. That's grand.
Okay.
I says to Mike around 10 o'clock, I'm sick of drinking bottles, can we go somewhere?
Oh, you were getting the jump on you.
Yeah, I wanted to go out and have a bit of crack.
Yep.
Because that's what you want to do after a day of drinking bottles in a garden.
It's off when you get that realization in you.
Yeah.
And you get that want in you. It's hard to get rid of it too, because you have bumped over a hump.
Yeah.
You bumped a hump.
Yeah.
Where you were going, geez, I don't know, I'm feeling all right. And then you're going, I fucking have to go out.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, we went out.
Oh, yeah, but yeah.
Guess where Mike brought me?
Where?
A little spot called the Lancaster Gentlemen's Club.
Like you're telling me it was like the CCCP Russian club that I was in Spain?
It absolutely was.
Oh, come out of it, you. All right.
I didn't expect to go there. It's since been closed down and demolished, sadly.
Oh, Lord rest them all, them lovely women.
God bless Mike. He tagged me in it when it went up on Facebook.
Jesus.
Sad this place is gone, isn't it, Ray?
Do you remember all the nights we had here, Ray?
Good times.
Shut up, Mike, will you?
But we went there for a little while.
I can't wait to hear where the video came from now, because I just realised there was a video.
Sure, I fell in love.
With
one of the girls.
Oh, did they catch you, Ray, the bastards?
They caught me, like. I fell in love. She looked like Kim from Coronation Street. You know you want Kim Marsh? She was in Coronation Street for a while.
Not really, no. She fine one.
She was lovely at the time. Sure, I didn't know what I was looking at.
She was wholesome looking.
Wholesome looking. I got her phone number.
You got a stripper's phone number?
No, I didn't. I got digits. I got numbers on a piece of paper that made no sense in any way. It wasn't even a phone number. I literally got 12 numbers.
What were you saying to look, I have a spot back in Mayo, which is lovely, like.
Yeah, I was saying, come on, you can come live with me.
And you think that you're the first fella that ever said this to this woman?
Ray. I was out of it.
Oh, fucking hell.
Do you know something? I wasn't even getting dances. I was just paying her just to chat to her. What's worse is I had my Outlads credit card with me at the time as well.
Jesus Christ.
The credit card that was on my Outlads account, and it was for emergencies.
There was some emergency,
but I needed to talk to her. So I took $100 out of the ATM in the Lancaster Gentlemen's Club just to chat to her about coming to live in Ireland.
Oh, stop, Ray. Is that fucking hell? So you're chatting there with Canadian Kim Marsh. Is it Marsh? Mm-hmm. You're chatting there with Canadian Kim Marsh saying, look, lovey, I have a bungalow in Carla.
Yeah.
My parents are lovely. My mother makes good soup.
That's it.
Will you come back?
Yeah.
And all the while, she's going, I might come back if you go and use that credit card there in the ATM. You have to keep chatting to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
She played you like a fool, but
yeah, there wasn't anything sexual about it. It was merely just trying to plan our rest of our lives together.
She was actually saying, I just realised this even more now. She was actually saying, oh my God, I don't even have to shake me fanny in this lad's face. He's giving me money. So this is like the gold mine. I just have to talk shit like.
Yeah.
Great, he's not even going to touch me. So fuck.
It's terrible. I was so innocent.
So what happened then? You obviously, I mean, are you waiting at the bus stop the next day for her to come along? You told
this is where the video comes in.
Oh, lovely.
So anyway, myself and Mike finally managed to get me out of the Lancaster Gentlemen's Club and we walked home. Right?
Just to do it.
Just myself and Mike.
I'm so surprised you wanted to go with you. Okay.
No,
okay.
she didn't go. She was working.
Oh.
So we're back in his backyard. And I'm sitting there, more bottles. So after drinking a load of Jack Daniels and Coke inside the club, I'm back to drinking more bottles of Canadian beer.
Okay.
I'm out of it. This is 3 a.m, right? And I put these numbers into my phone and I send a text saying, this is me, right? Now, days later, I realised he didn't even deliver. Because it wasn't a phone number.
Well, lovey, come here, just ring me when you're finished work. I'm at home.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So I went looking for her.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck.
I said, Mike, I'm going to tip back down here because I think I got one of these digits wrong.
Ah, no!
Yeah. So Mike didn't pay any heed and he thought I was jibing.
Fuck.
They found me. Half an hour later, asleep on the fire escape of next door's house.
Oh my God. You didn't get very fucking far.
I didn't. I was out of it.
Or did you get down there and come back?
No, I got nowhere near it.
Oh.
Sure, I forgot the fact that we had to get a taxi to it. She was miles away. So I tore off walking.
Fucking hell. And they found you the next morning.
No. This is like Mike obviously noticed I was now gone.
Yeah.
So they went out the gate. They walked 2 doors down, and I was asleep on a fire escape. There he is. No need to look very far. Mike didn't panic. He's well used to this sort of stuff, you know.
And did he video you at this point then asleep on a fire escape?
When I came back and I was out of it again, there was a video taken of me in a hip. I wasn't making any sense at all. Making no sense.
You're saying I'm not fucking going anywhere unless Kim Marshall's with me. Where is she? She's still at work.
I eventually fell asleep on the couch inside in the room about 4 o'clock in the morning. 2 hours later, Mike woke me for the taxi.
Oh, fuck.
This is 6 a.m. Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm. This takes a turn now because I know
this takes a dirty turn.
Feeling.
I wake up. I got sick. The first thing I did was got sick, and then he put me in the taxi. I don't remember the taxi much. I remember arriving at the airport.
Okay.
Then I had to join the queue for the Americans let me in.
Oh yeah.
So it's a big half an hour windy queue.
Oh fuck.
And I'm white as a sheet. And I got up as far as the bucks with the guns, and then I had to leave the queue to get sick again.
Oh. Don't you have to go back?
I had to go to the toilet, and then I had to go back to the back of the queue again and did another half an hour.
Jesus.
I managed to get through. And I had to buy a jumper because I was perished. Because of the air conditioning. I don't remember the plane.
No.
All I was doing was I wanted to get to the hotel in New York, back to where my cousin and myself were staying, and I knew I'd go to bed.
Oh my God.
I got back to the hotel at 11:30 that morning in a bad, dishevelled state. Only to find my cousin packing my bag and her own bag because we had to check out by 12 o'clock.
Oh, fuck. That is the biggest nightmare.
Yeah. Just when I wanted to lie down.
And you had to wait until the evening to get your flight home.
Our flight wasn't till 9 o'clock that night.
Oh, it's the worst feeling. So, why don't fucking... Hotels don't actually offer late checkout-y things. They don't, they say they do, but they don't.
No.
Oh my God, imagine you got kicked out. And all I can think is...
July, New York.
Oh.
32 degrees.
And you're going, I'm back, I'm in the hotel, thank God.
I thought I was
sleep
safe.
now until the flight. And she's packing your bags to fuck off out the door again.
Yeah.
It's the worst. Oh, that story got really bad for a finish.
That's it. Well, there was only one place I could go at that point to chill out. Where would you go in that situation?
Did you go back to Canada and into the strip club again?
No.
What'd you do?
I'll tell you what I did.
Starbucks.
I went to the cinema.
Did you? And did you sleep inside in it?
I purchased 2 tickets for Superbad.
Fuck.
The 3 o'clock showing and probably the 1 o'clock showing and the 4 o'clock showing.
Yeah. And
it was all in the one cinema.
And
so
you
I didn't
stayed.
get comfy.
No. And did you sleep?
I couldn't sleep to the first showing because it's a very good film.
It is a great
I
film.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then I slept through the second one. And then we got the plane, got home and everything. But it was the worst hangover I've ever had.
When you got home, did you say never, ever, ever in my life will I drink ever again?
Yeah.
I have said that like on occasion.
Yeah.
You know?
We should sign something, though, to that effect. Because we never actually...
Like, there are those times in your life where you go, I will never, ever, ever touch a drop ever again.
It was very ill-advised.
That's very good, Ray. Have you had that there?
I heard your bit I listened to your In the Lamplight podcast.
You finally listened to it?
I did, I got to it.
Right.
It was very good.
You enjoyed it?
I did, you came across very well.
I spoke very highly of you now, didn't I?
You did now, and I was kind of a bit awkward. It was weird, like. You were kind of saying really nice things about me.
Yeah, well, that was...
And then not so nice things.
What did I not say that was not so nice?
You know the way Ray McAndrew is, kind of insinuating.
What does that mean?
I think he's very opinionated and...
That's an old...
bollocks.
No, that's what you say about Irish people anyway. Everyone knows the way someone is, like. So if I did something, you'd say, sure, you know the way Kendy is.
I suppose, yeah, I have said that before.
We all have... That gets me actually onto it now. Samantha, who was Nicola's sister, we have to give her a shout-out because she was giving out, so it's not giving a shout-out.
Right.
She sent me a message today saying that she was listening to another podcast and she was on about Irishisms like that, like what you just said. Asher, you know the way your man is.
Yeah.
And these people on this Irish language podcast or whatever, they reckon that like there's reasoning behind why we speak Irish English.
What?
We speak we speak English Irish, I meant to say.
English Irish.
So we speak English, but we speak it as if it
In
was
our own
still
way.
as if it was Irish that we were actually speaking.
Because apparently, the Irish language, and I only seen this on TikTok, and it might be absolutely, totally untrue.
Okay.
But apparently, the Irish language is not set up around the way other languages close by are actually set up.
Yeah.
Which is something like subject, verb,
Yes.
something.
And that's why we say stuff like says I to him.
Yeah.
Says I to him is literally because the way we set up our verbs and stuff.
Yeah. That we're more like the biblical languages.
Yeah, but like I don't say I said to your man. Because says I to him is like verb you. Dorch me lesh. So dorch me says I.
Oh yeah.
And then lesh is to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. So we like I know we do obviously some people say I said to your man.
Yeah.
But most of us would actually say says I to your man because it's actually a literal translation of what it would be in Irish. And there's also a great one. They reckon, right, that there's a reason why we never ever say hello to people. We always ask them a question. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
Well, how are you? How's things?
Well is a question as well.
How are you kept? Well.
We kick it off straight in with a question.
How are you? What's the crack?
Yeah.
How are things? How are you going?
Yeah.
Because we don't have an actual translation in Irish for hello.
What?
Like we say G gwich, which actually just means God be with you. We
okay.
don't have a casual hello. It is none of them in Irish.
I've seen well in Irish, but it's BHUEL.
Yeah, but that doesn't actually mean well, though, I don't think.
No, I think that's right.
But that's why we always ask a question.
Yeah.
When we're saying how are you to people.
Because we hadn't got it.
How are you? How are things? How are you keeping?
Yeah.
Any crack? We never say hello to people, really, do we?
Mad.
Anyway, look, let's move on.
I want to ask you.
Go on.
Do you go to Mass on Christmas Eve in Castlereagh?
Ray, I wouldn't go to Mass on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Stephen's Day,
Oh,
New
you don't
Year's
do
Eve.
you don't do it at least once a year?
No, we haven't. Like, I haven't gone to Mass, Ray, unless it's been a funeral or a wedding. I haven't gone, and we never went to New Year's Eve, to Christmas Eve Mass.
Oh, did you not?
We always went to Christmas Day Mass.
Right.
Because you wanted to see all the nice clothes that people got from Santa.
And do you still go to Christmas Day Mass?
No.
No, you stopped that.
Yeah, we stopped that as well.
It fascinates me that this year, a lot of people I know that like Christmas Eve Mass in Cooneil would be wedged.
A big one.
It's wedged.
Right.
Yeah, it's the one night that Father James can actually lambast everyone and say, "Where the frick were you all year?"
Where were you?
Yeah.
Seamus.
Yeah. So
Willie.
it's the big night. But this can't happen this year.
Is he going to have to spread them out over...
But this is what I'm cutting to. Is he, instead of just doing the one Christmas Eve Mass, is he going to run a ball of masses throughout the day?
He could do a mass marathon.
Yeah.
He could do a mass marathon, Ray.
Well, do you know what he can't?
Why?
Because I learned a bit about this.
Okay.
Yeah, from a gentleman I work with. He informed me that there are rules and regulations regarding Mass. And I didn't know any of this. A priest can only say a maximum of 3 Masses in a day.
What?
Yeah.
No shagging way.
He can say 1 normal Mass, apparently. And he can say 2 other Masses as long as they are for pastoral reasons.
What's a pastoral reason?
A pastoral reason is if there's a bior and a lad getting married.
Oh, yeah.
Or if there's a lad dying.
Or a funeral.
Dead.
Yeah.
If it's a funeral.
Yeah.
A funeral. Yeah. So he can do, on an average day, Father Corcoran in Cooneil, he could do the normal Mass and he could do a wedding and a funeral. Or he could do the vigil Mass that night.
Okay.
So you could do,
So what you're telling me is that in order for us to get Mass to everybody in Cooneil and Carla, we need to kill someone and arrange a marriage.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And we have to have it on a day with the vigil mass as well.
Well, if we're going...
no, that's 4 masses. You can't do that.
If we're going to do Christmas Eve Mass, so everyone in Carla and Chris and Cooneil are
we just
getting
need someone to get married that day.
We'll arrange that. We'll force 2 people together.
Right.
They do it in loads of cultures. And then we'll kill someone.
We'll kill...
Ray, it's done. We're going to kill someone. Don't be worrying about it anymore.
Can you imagine getting volunteers the week before? How's it going? We're looking to do the 3 big masses next week. We need someone to die.
Yeah, we need someone dead and we need 2 to get married.
It's easier now if we just work it out between ourselves. We don't want to have to take matters in our own hands.
Paz, who's been married for 40 years down the back, says, fucking take the death, lads. Someone volunteer for the death. Believe me. We do have a shout out to do, Ray.
Go for it.
We got to shout out Brenda Gilmartin.
Right.
Or in Irish, Brenda O'Ghillawarchini.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, that's half Irish, half Italian. She said, just little message to say my sister Alva got a shout out back in episode 75. And then she said to Brenda, have a look at this. I'm out getting a shout out in a tremendous podcast. Brenda listened to 91 episodes.
What?
Yeah.
She binged it.
She binged it out of it, Ray.
Right.
And you know what? We think everyone hates our shite talk, or literal shite talk. Like
talk about the poos.
Talk about the poos. She knows that she can't get enough of it.
Oh,
she even sent us on a graph of what your poo should look like if it was chocolate. I can't think of anything more. Look, one of them's a Malteser, one of them's a Lion Bar, one of them's a Twix, one of them's a Toffee Crisp.
That's very good.
Brenda, we appreciate that far more than you'll ever know.
Is there any curly whirlies?
There isn't a curly whirly. Why, have you a curly whirly one? Ray, you want to get that seed to.
I'm just saying that'd be an interesting one to put out.
And before we go on as well, I didn't realise how important it is for people to like rate or podcast on like Apple or wherever the hell you're listening to.
Right.
And then like subscribe to it on that because it pushes it up the charts then for other people to listen to.
But sure, what if people listen to it on the Spotify?
I don't know how we do it on Spotify. All I know is if you're listening to it on Stitcher or Apple or any of them, if you rate it and subscribe on the Oak, I mean, it just means you get a notification, but it shoves us up. It shoves us straight up the chart.
Do we want to be shoved up the chart?
Of course we do. We want more listeners, you bowsy.
I'm happy enough with the group we have.
Feck off. They're a bit flimsy, some of them, Ray.
No, they're perfect.
They're like the walking wounded.
I couldn't ask for a nicer bunch of people.
Okay, forget about it. We don't want any more listeners. Tell nobody you're listening. Don't be fucking telling anyone.
To yourselves.
Yeah. Alva, I'm looking at you. You told your sister you're listening to us. Don't be telling anyone else, all right? Brenda, no more. You hear me?
That's it. Keep it yourselves.
And the Patreon stuff has got sent out. We still have more. If you want to sign up to the Patreon, it's patreon.com/Kendy Raybo podcast.
Yeah.
And breathe.
There is something I think we should address.
Go on.
Obviously now that we're back to doing them once a week.
Yeah.
And even though the lockdown has been lifted somewhat.
Yeah.
We are still only managing to do a slightly shorter offering than we normally do.
Well, it depends week by week. Like last week was 47 minutes now. Not bad.
We did well. But
you could find that this week could be
shorter.
35.
So we do apologise with the inconsistency of the timing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Apparently when people have a conversation, lads, you don't know which way it's going to go. You could be talking all night or talking not at all.
Yeah, and this is what? Tuesday evening we're doing this is a Tuesday.
Wednesday evening, lads.
It's not Wednesday. It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday evening.
See, I'm lost. It's a busy week for me in the Department of Government.
Oh, you're flat out, yeah.
I am. That's probably why my head is not. I came straight here from the bedroom.
Okay, well, if you're wondering if the government has screwed you over this week,
no, don't say that.
It was Ray McAndrew. We're going to leave you with that. It was Ray McAndrew on it.
No, it wasn't.
Ray, fair play to me.
Fair play to me.
Good luck.
Good luck.